A Room of One's Own is a feminist essay by Virginia Woolf, first published in 1929. The essay is based on a series of lectures Woolf delivered at two women's colleges in Cambridge, England, in which she explores the historical and societal barriers that have prevented women from achieving success as writers. Woolf begins the essay by discussing the lack of female characters in literature and the lack of female authors throughout history. She argues that this is due to the fact that women have not had the same opportunities as men to pursue their own artistic and intellectual interests. She then goes on to discuss the practical barriers that have stood in the way of women's artistic and intellectual development, such as the lack of independent financial means and the lack of private spaces in which to work. Woolf then introduces the idea of a room of one's own as a metaphor for the physical and psychological space that is necessary for women to create and develop their artistic and intellectual talents. She argues that this space must be protected from the demands and expectations of others, and that it must be financially and emotionally self-sustaining. The essay also explores the historical and societal attitudes towards women's education and intellectual pursuits, and their impact on women's literary production. Woolf illustrates this point by creating an imagined scenario where Shakespeare had a sister with the same talent as him, but without the same opportunities or social mobility. Woolf argues that she would have never written a word. Woolf concludes the essay by calling for a change in societal attitudes towards women's artistic and intellectual pursuits, and for the creation of more opportunities and resources for women to develop their talents. Overall, A Room of One's Own is considered a seminal work of feminist literature and a classic of feminist thought. It is widely read and studied for its insights into the ways in which societal structures and attitudes can inhibit the development and expression of women's talents and voices, and for its call for greater equality and opportunity for women in the arts and intellectual life. Subscribe the channel for more videos.